Just a good play style overall, and a good way that you can win out in a lot of these duels here. But you did notice that some of the champion kit layouts did change as we are moving on to the next map here now. A little bit of a fewer lighter pickups I think that we saw there. I think we're going to see a Nyx coming into the fold there, which I always like to see. It's a very risky champion play style, but it tends to work out pretty well if you can position it, especially as a first champion pick just to start off the map, because of how quickly you can go around and try to pick up and set yourself up for to take a very aggressive early duel.
Yeah, she's very fast. Like you said, but it is a high-risk, kind of high-reward champion because she doesn't have the bigger stack. You got to be careful how you use that invisibility of hers, because if you use it at the wrong time, you're going to leave yourself vulnerable.
This is going over to Corruptive Keep, the new duel map that came into the fold just recently with the update. Noctis getting pushed back right at the start there, but pops the dual wield, getting massive damage onto the new scale bearer that Toxic is bringing out into this second map here. Noctis kind of on the run though, as his HP's a little low, so he needs to make sure that he doesn't go into a direct fight again, since his opponent on the scale bearer has those rockets to try and play off of. Noctis also has that passive health regen though, so it is going to help him stay alive for a little bit longer here as he waits out for these power-up timers. Noctis able to claim the mega health, whereas his opponent, Toxic, is able to move over and get himself the full armor kit.
Yeah, good recovery by Noctis there to get away.
Now Noctis just waiting for the duel to come his way. Toxic already pushed into him once, trying to connect into a hit here, but now the charge coming in. I don't think so. Oh, he actually does hit it right at the end there. That's a massive 150 damage strike going up against Noctis. It's a good thing he was able to move around and get a few more of those pickups, as otherwise he would have just been a dead man based on the health pool that he was at the end of that last duel. But for now, the Blazkowicz survives, and Noctis will as well.
What a great charge, though, right? He came from so far away. That was just amazing.
Yeah, set that up. That took a lot of setting up to do. Toxic, though, not even having to lift a finger, doing massive damage here. His opponent getting a lot in with the rail, but not nearly enough to pick up the kill, as we do end up seeing Noctis lose his champion first.
Yeah, that was just bad positioning, you know, on Noctis's part. In that engagement, you can see Toxic had the high ground, was punishing him with those rockets. That's what you want to do when you have high ground like that, and he just got the frag. Like I said, good positioning will win at the end of this.
Noctis able to move around very quickly to get his pickups, and he's going to need to, as he's now on the Sorlac, gets the spin in. That's massive damage going on to the scale bearer. He just melts his opponent and gets that quick trade to bring things down to a 2v2.
Wow, I think Toxic got a little too careless there, you know, not recognizing, hey, this is Sorlac. You don't want to get in her face a little too much. And that acid spit is brutal.
Oh my goodness, Noctis down to 1 HP now, trying to run away from the Nyx, trying to see if he can recover a little bit of health here. Gets to those bubbles, and now he's going to give himself up to 50, but now waiting for the respawn. He has it, but he can't go for the pickup on it. And even when he does, he loses all of his health so quickly. The Nyx, these are such quick trades moving in for both Toxic and Noctis now, as Toxic claims revenge, bringing it down to a 2v1, but that rail against the Nyx is going to hurt. She can usually take 2, maybe 3 of those hits max before going down without recovering health, and there's the second one. Beautifully predicted by Noxus, as he gets right in the way of the running path from Toxic and knocks out his second champion.
Yeah, we're down to basically sudden death right now. Next frag wins. This is very intense right now.
And Noctis is going to be fighting right up close against the Blazkowicz. Unfortunately, he's going up against the dual wield, and that pop is going to allow Toxic to dive right into the fight and claim round number 1.
Wow. Wow, that was razor close because he bounced him with that rocket. So he had a chance for the follow-up shot before he went down. It was razor close. Wow, what a match. I mean, these guys are amazing. That's all I can say.
Absolutely. Close matches all across the board, as we've been seeing for much of today, but it's going to be Toxic that claims this round, and that's the first one he's been able to get so far out of the 2 maps that we've been playing on here. The instant dual wield pop from Noctis is going to force Toxic to go for his own stealth pop there, getting out of the fight, but Noctis got quite a bit of damage, and so Toxic is going to be on the run for a few minutes here. Reads into the pathing. Noctis getting bounced around by those rockets, though. That's a little dangerous. The 24 HP, he's trying to hold the Nyx back with his rocket firepower, but he needs to get out of here, trying to find some health or the armor pickup, which is what he's waiting for now. Get that, but now he's got to run quickly to look for health. But I'm sure that Nyx is getting set up to re-engage at any moment.
Yeah, it looks like Toxic must have also been pretty damaged there, too, with the way he backed off, because Noctis wasn't in a great spot.
Noctis tried to move over, go for this health pickup now, but obviously that's long gone. So a roll in, gets a perfect lineup though after picking up this rail. Misses the second one. That's going to let Toxic survive for right now. But Noctis is on the hunt, moving around very aggressively. Taking a moment to himself here to quiet things down a bit. Listen across the map. You can hear Toxic going for those pickups. Now he just has to read into the pathing as the armor spawns in. Noctis himself is going to be able to steal that, so he keeps control, but now suddenly spots his opponent down below. Not going to want to take that fight, though, as neither player really had a great position to play off of here. Now Toxic moving in, makes a bit of a risky going for the jump pad move, but pops the stealth, and is going to get his opponent below him as he takes the high ground.
Yeah, great idea to use the stealth going up the jump pad. He knew his opponent. Oh my goodness, he's in bad shape right now.
Now stuck in a corner too, really nowhere to run, but he's done some good damage at the very least with those rockets, so it has forced to play a bit passively himself. Toxic, though, waiting very patiently with very low HP, too. Needs to be careful about how he tries to play this out if he were to continue to take that 1v1, but sneaking around seems to have worked for him so far. Now it's a race to try and go over and get that mega health pickup, though, but he's already lost it. His opponent gets to it far before he does. That's going to be Noctis with the extra health here, and Toxic working off of scraps, trying to find the best position to take on his opponent here. Again, forced to pop the stealth. Just can't find himself in a good position to take any of these fights.
Yeah, you got to give Noctis a lot of credit here. He's really forcing that stealth because he's catching Toxic unawares sometimes, and that's why he's doing that to escape. But right now, he's vulnerable with that what, he's got another 20 seconds on his ability right now. So this is the time Noctis can push Toxic and get that kill.
Toxic just jumping straight into another rail shot, unfortunately. Forces Toxic to go back, but thankfully in the time that was happening, Noctis got a little bit distracted, lost track of the spawn timer there, and ended up handing over the mega health to Toxic, so now he's back up to full HP, and he does have a little bit of bonus HP to play with here too. Armor back in, but Noctis going to be able to easily claim that as he was just camping on it for the last 20 seconds or so. So he's not going for him. Now Toxic back to trying to hunt down his opponent, but he needs to be so careful. Hits that rocket shot, and now suddenly panicked and forced to pop it again as his opponent moves in, goes for the dual wield pop, but now has to re-engage in this fight, but just can't find will to do it. Forced to hop back to go for the mega health pickup.
Great timing there by Toxic. You see how he kind of juked him. He went one way and then turned right back around and grabbed that mega. That was just slick little play because it delayed Noctis. You know, Noctis had to respect that he was going that direction, and it's just good mental play right there.
He hasn't been able to really lock down on both of the spawns, though, despite the fact that they're split up by about 10 seconds or so. Noctis always seems to be able to claim the full armor kit, and for the most part, always takes an early advantage in these duels. As we're seeing yet again the stealth pop, though, it seems like Toxic may actually want to fight for it this time, but Noctis, excuse me, I don't know why I'm saying Noctis, trying to hide back a little bit more to take a more advantageous position himself, fighting from the back, and there we go, finally, our first kill in round number 2, and it comes from Noctis, and now there's only a minute and 15 seconds left in the round.
Yeah, I thought that was a little, oh my god.
Oh no, he's gonna pop the dual wield and tries to stay alive for the rails, but it can't happen. Toxic strikes back the quick respawn and refrag, brings it down to a 2v2.
That's just amazing. Right when I was going to say, I was like, Toxic got a little careless on that frag before, and then Noctis, I think, got a little careless on that one with the charge coming in. I think he felt a little too confident after that kill.
And look at this great play from the Sorlag here now. He put the spit down over the mega health so that when Toxic went to pick it up, he took all this extra damage for it. Now he's down at 54 HP. Problem is, though, is that Noctis is eating so many of these rail shots. So now the problem is that he can't actually even take the fight. He has to go running, trying to look for additional health pickups as he's gotten too low. Right now, Noctis trying to hunt down his opponent and box him outside of this room so that he can safely go for the mega health pickup this time. And now he's got a few seconds to reroute over here, trying to go for the armor, but he gets run over by Toxic. He's doing work on the skill bearer, and now he takes the lead, and there's only 10 seconds left to try and refrag it and bring it down to a 1v1 for sudden death.
What a great charge by Toxic right there. That was amazing the way he just ran him over.
Some great rail work, too. He's got his opponent low, and he's going to finish him off with the SMG as round number 2, along with this map, go under the control of Toxic as he takes it 2-0.
Yeah, proper weapon switch right there at the end. That's what you want to do when you get somebody low. You know, you don't want to get too caught up in the highlight reel shot, try to finish him with the rail. He did the proper thing, switch the machine gun, you know, switch it off. You only had to hit him a few times and get that kill. As I like to say, there is no highlight without the frag, so make sure you get that frag.
It's a fairly standard kit in terms of champions for both of those players there. They have two sort of medium-style champs and then one heavier champion for their respawn aspect. One going with the clutch, which is the big robot with the shield ability that he can use in front of him, and the second player choosing to use the Sorlag, which is a much more offensive character in regards to how he uses that sort of extra health and armor that he can carry compared to some of the other more normal champions.
Yeah, I think those are great picks, like I said, for recovering. Very hard to just rush them off a spawn because of that initial stack, because of their active ability, the shield or the Sorlag acid spit. If you try to get in their face right away and try to spawn frag them, it could turn into a bad time for you and totally reverse the momentum.
All right, well, it looks like it's time to jump into our first map of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at things. Toxic on your left, Noctis on the right. Players moving around now to go for their initial pickups here. Noctis go based on his spawn over to the full armor first, but they'll meet out in middle. A little bit of action starting off the day early on here, however.
An interesting first pick. I'm surprised. He went with clutch right off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm very interested about that. This is
The extra real estate to work with, and the utility that shield offers in a 1v1 is definitely something that could prove very useful here if Toxic, for whatever reason, ends up in a bad position there. Somewhat like that, where unfortunately he takes quite a bit of damage and loses quite a bit of his armor from the lightning gun spam that he just got hit with. So
I think clutch, especially because Noctis is picking BJ, right? Oh, wow, what great shots. But Noctis playing BJ, that shield of clutch can really counter that, his ability.
yeah, especially if he can keep it at a decent range, he's going to be able to just completely counter out the dual wielding ability that Blazkowicz is going to bring to the table now, as he was recently added. So I'm sure Toxic is trying to look to counter that out. Toxic really having some problems right now. Just can't connect anything and leaving himself in the open far too often. Got hit by that double rail before, and now he's still recovering his health pool around that, when previously he had both the full armor pickup and the health. And now he's going to go into this fight using the shield as a bit of a panic attack there. Thankfully, he pushed his opponent back and is going to be able to retrieve the full armor, but again, pushed into a corner. He's going to lose most of that armor. Just surviving with about half of his HP. Now he's looking to get out of here and resupply.
A great play there. You see Noctis red, he used the shield, Toxic used the shield, and you see he used his BJ ability right after that to try to get that frag. Even though it didn't work out for him, you could see the strategy, what he was thinking.
So I got the nice counter. Noctis continuing his aggression though, and now pushing over towards the stairwell. Wasn't able to push him back enough yet, but he sees him coming from the portal. The shield pops out for a second time here now, and Noctis is forced back away from that one, giving the full armor pickup to Toxic for a second time.
Yeah, a lot of cat and mouse going on right now. You can see them really trying to read each other, listening to those sounds, and really walking a little bit. You can tell both these players have great respect for each other by the way they're playing.
Yeah, Toxic has great control over both the health and armor spawns currently.
Yeah, his stack is really big, basically 200, 100. Noctis definitely does not want to get into a straight fight with him right now.
One aspect of this where Toxic has been struggling a little bit here has been his ability to maintain positions. Noctis has definitely had the better edge of him for most of this round so far based on that. However, Noctis is getting put into a pretty poor position right now. 25 HP, forced to make a run for it. Thankfully, there's quite a bit of health upstairs there, and he's able to recover most of it. And Toxic, like I was saying before, was not too keen on trying to get hyper-aggressive.
Yeah, he's focusing. You see, he's really controlling those major items right now. Noctis is just, like I said, trying to be careful and trying to steal any of those items he can, But he's in a tough spot right now. He is, I mean, look at the stack on him right now.
There's no reason now for Toxic to not go looking for these kills at this point, so we can expect him to start getting a little bit more aggressive now that he has this. And indeed, dropping down. He spotted the portal hop there for Noctis. It looks like he is going to go moving in, trying to see if he can take a bit of a battle with him. No, he's in the room, but again, no one wanting to fight right now. Noctis now bailing out of these engagements, not wanting to take it. And Toxic trying to get ready here. Tries to bait him into going for the fawn, but regardless, Noctis is able to move in. He steals that full health pickup. And Toxic's now going to have to run to go look for the armor pickup to compensate.
Yeah, that was a big pickup there. Like I said, he had to steal something, and now he's making an effort, but he's being really careful. You can see the strategy in duel. When you don't have a stack, you saw it from our Joes yesterday, how they were hyper-aggressive. You can see the difference. When he's not ready to engage, he really tries to, keep his opponent at bay.
Much more controlled. Noctis, however, seems like he went for a bit of a panic activate onto his active ability there. So ends up losing that dual wield, and now moving in here, Toxic is going to be able to pop his shield, remain safe, and keep himself in a pretty good position in terms of his stack. No kills yet, and there's only 45 seconds remaining, so this essentially could just come down to whoever gets this one kill may be able to win the round and start off with a lead in this map so far. But Toxic, again, continuing to play things passively, hiding in the corner and waiting for his spawns. He's a little bit out of position right now to grab the full armor spawn, so we'd have to look for the mega health. That's all he's going to be able to get right now. Noctis definitely having the better position to look for those pickups.
Very evenly matched. That's all I can see right. Oh my goodness.
Now finally moving in here, the dual wield rolls it out from Noctis, and he gets so much damage in with the dual wield. With the dual wielding gun there, so he's going to be able to move in and pick up that first kill. And now, unless he trades this in the next 10 seconds, it is going to end up being Noctis that wins the first round here, and Noctis knows it. He's running from his opponent, doesn't even want to fight him, trying to get out of this location, and he'll even pick up that second kill before the round ends. So nicely done there. Number one, he's going to go over to Noctis.
Yeah, that was a great kill. You know, you remember I was talking about the counter, so he knew Clutch's shield was down, and then you know, see he used his dual wielding ability there, and he got the frag. That was just awesome. Like I said, just thinking, the higher level thinking is what really wins games, and those are some great decision making by him. He didn't even have control for most of it.
Nope. So Toxic now having play passive, unfortunately ends up costing him that first round as finally he gets pushed upon by Noctis, gets him into a bad spot, and picks up that kill. Nice shots, beautiful damage being done by Toxic. That is going to send Noctis running nice and early on here, as his health pool has to be absolutely decimated after those 2 rocket hits.
Yeah, hopefully Toxic needs to try to get a little more pressure on Noctis. You know, like we were talking, he had control pretty much the whole map, the match in the last round, and he really couldn't get the pressure he needed to get that finishing kill. Yeah.
Back to having Toxic control most of the power-ups across the map currently. He's got both a full armor and the mega health pickup. But on this champion still seems to play hyper passively, not wanting to force an engagement with Noctis at any point here. Just crawling around the map, waiting for the next set of spawns to move in. Did go for pretty quick pickups on both of those last time, so they're essentially just going to spawn right around the same time here as Toxic tries to look for something, but he's just taking so much unnecessary damage from that tribal currently, trying to get out to take this fight. Noctis actually misses that rocket, takes off some of his own HP there. Not too much of a deal, but now Noctis set up perfectly to counter out this push from Toxic. Has to have got him so low, but again, Noctis choosing to disengage, and now going to look for a better position to continue this fight.
Yeah, he was happy with the damage he dealt, especially because it was unreturned damage, and I think he just wanted to focus on getting the next mega health, that next big armor, and getting better position.
So Noctis is going to continue to try and push his opponent back. Completes in getting the mega health pickup. Now he's got to route really quickly as the spawns are very close together over towards his full armor. He gets it though, so now he has that huge buildup of extra health and extra armor to play off of. And despite the fact that Clutch has quite a bit of health, it's going to be no match for what Blazkowicz brings to the table when he pops that dual wield. As you saw there, just a melted Clutch so quickly. And again, it allowed for Noctis to get the first kill, and now he's going to try to go for a second one here, as Toxic is trying to challenge very early on in his second champion's life.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Toxic pushed there at the end, you know, especially because Noctis had just got the heavy armor and the mega health.
Oh. Yeah, Noctis being able to move in, locks onto the location of Toxic Ranger and just takes him out. Doesn't even get to put up much of a fight. I don't even know if he really got any chance to shoot back at Noctis at all. So Noctis in great shape right now, has it down to a 3v1. Toxic on his last champion has to try and turn things around here on the visor now. Otherwise, he's going to lose this map in 2-0 fashion.
Yeah, he's got an uphill battle right now, that's for sure. Noctis is really sharp right now. Like I said, even when he doesn't have control, you can see how smart he's playing. He's not giving Toxic a whole lot of chances to get frags here.
Noctis getting a little bit more greedy now, getting into the open to take some of those duels. Eats that rail shot. As a result of that, he's going to lose quite a bit of his armor. Thankfully, it's a quick recovery, but nice shot again from Toxic. Noctis barely even peeked into that, and he got caught hit by a rail. All of a sudden, Noctis not looking too good in that duel, and Toxic sneaking up from behind in the portal play is going to be able to take him down, finally knocking out one of Noctis' champions. Yeah,
some great shooting there by Toxic. Noctis was in a bad spot. He really wanted that heavy armor. Toxic knew it. That's why he didn't jump across initially. I mean, you know, he kind of waited for Toxic to teleport. He tried to time it, but Toxic just hit him with a great shot coming out of that portal.
So we just have a disconnect there, so we're going to work on see if we can get him back in, of course. But Noctis still well ahead in this matchup here. And for Toxic, well, it's rough for him to be able to recover from this, especially with the time working against him.
Yeah, it was, like I said, I'm very impressed with Noctis when he didn't have control, especially that first round. Like I said, Toxic was running everything, and he didn't get any, you know, no frags from that. And that's just you got to give credit to Noctis for playing really smart. Like you said, he was playing really passive. He was waiting for his moment, you know, and once he got it, he pounced and he got that win in that first round. It was awesome.
Yeah, using Blazkowicz really in a really innovative fashion, and just try and time the perfect pop of the dual wield so that he can melt through all of that extra health that the clutch brings to the table there, and basically make that extra health somewhat useless. So it was really well played by him, and he was able to take out that first champion very easily, almost every single time he went up against it so far in these 2 rounds. And then from there, I mean, a little bit of overplay, it seemed, from Toxic on his second champion, just getting a little bit too aggressive and giving that second life up, and it did put him into that poor position that he ended up in so far in that second round.
Yeah, like I always point out, a little bit of better decision making changes how the game, how the game results will play out. So